Hi everyone, I'm David, and this is Laura.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about episode 2 of Black Lightning, so there will be spoilers, specifically Wanda, the Book of Hope.
Yes.
I want to get into a conversation with Laura about how Black Lightning's doing outside of the Arrowverse. It's early, so of course, we're not going to get a crossover in episode 2, but we know that it's existing on its own little island, away from the Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and it actually just feels like something completely different from the CW in terms of their superhero world that we haven't gotten before. Do you think the show's been effective at doing that?
I think so. I think that episode 1 kind of struggled in balancing everything. There was a lot that they had to get in, a lot of backstory about Jefferson's past, how he became Black Lightning, how he then hung up the suit. So I think episode 2 does a better job of kind of giving you a sense of what the show will be moving forward, which I think is obviously important. That's what an episode 2 does. You want to make sure that the rhythm and the momentum is solid moving forward.
I mean, after watching this episode, let's just jump right to the good stuff, right to the end. And I mean, Lala. That was in my review, I was saying that's one of my favorite things about the show was Lala. I thought he was such a complex villain, an interesting villain, because there were more layers to him than I think we've seen from Tobias Whale. He wasn't, the mustache twirling or dark sunglasses in a dark room, looking like a pop star kind of villain. He had a history, especially with Jefferson, that we were just getting to learn about. And I wonder if he's gone, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit, but if he's gone, is that going to hurt the show down the road? Yeah,
he certainly seemed to have a lot more layers and nuance than Whale. Whale is kind of like the Kingpin-esque character that I am going to stand in an office and be ominous and smash people and scare them, which I think every superhero show kind of has to deal with. Like, a superhero is only as good as their villains. So moving forward, is Whale going to be enough? Is he a little bit too one note? Are we going to see more layers of him moving forward?
I hope so, because I think he has a presence. I mean, when he's on screen, I am focused on him. I mean, the way he carries himself, he has a very interesting look, I like the way, the way he speaks, just everything about him, the way he carries himself. It's just that the way that he's been written just feels a little bit like a James Bond villain. Like, he's just so obviously a villain. Like
the white suit.
Yeah, and he's got that, his
a
subordinate.
Tank of piranhas to kill people
and his
with.
sidekicks, like this just, beautiful woman who doesn't say much, just kind of smiles and looks tough. I'm like, what's her story? Maybe we'll find that out later. It's still early. But I think the show has done a great job of developing the kids.
Yeah.
I think the show is disguised as a family drama, a very good family drama, but disguised as a superhero show. I feel like the superhero aspects of the show are almost secondary.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good thing. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Yeah, I think it kind of reminds me of The Flash in that way. You kind of have all of the superhero aspects about Barry's journey, but you also kind of have the family dynamics with the Wests, and I feel like that is kind of what gave The Flash such nuance and such heart, the fact that you really do buy into this family dynamic. And it seems to be the same with Black Lightning. You just kind of want to hang out with the family rather than see all the superhero drama that's unfolding.
Yeah, we have the 2 daughters, which are interesting, especially Anissa.
Yes.
Because she has these superpowers that she's slowly learning about. She goes off to get a little medication, throws a guy across the store. Just your average trip to the drugstore.
Exactly.
Are you excited to see it? We've seen the suit. We've seen what the suit looks like. It looks incredible. Like, are you excited to see her as a superhero though? Fully come into being Thunder.
I feel like it's going to be a slow burn for most of the season. I feel like they don't want to rush that too much, especially since we also have Lightning further down the line, so you kind of want to pass that out over the course of the season. But I think that they're developing both daughters very well, but Anissa especially. I love the fact that, they kind of introduced the fact that she's a lesbian. It's very matter of fact. It's not kind of a big deal that's signposted. She's just in bed with her girlfriend like any other person would be with their partner, which I think is great. But we do have a sense that that relationship might not last forever. You get to see a bit of friction between her and her girlfriend, and we know that in episode 3 they're going to be introducing Grace Choi, who is Anissa's girlfriend from the comic books, if we want to get into comic book territory. Obviously,
this is The Outsiders.
This is The Outsiders, which is a fantastic run. If you guys haven't read any, you should check it out. Grace and Anissa kind of become a romantic couple. They kind of, I think Grace is bisexual, and she will be playing kind of the role of Anissa's confidant going forward this season. She's kind of, obviously Anissa can't really share anything with her father or her family about what she's going through. It seems like she's going to kind of keep that under wraps. So Grace is going to be kind of a mentor, a confidant for her to kind of share her journey with moving forward. And I think that will be very exciting and something that obviously we like to see on TV, a little more representation, especially between lesbian characters, because obviously Supergirl is backing away from that this season. They've written off Alex's love interest, so it would be nice to see an actual lesbian couple being able to be happy and solid on TV. That would be nice without any drama or death. Would be great.
That almost goes back, to my first question about, the Arrowverse and, is the show going to suffer because it's away from the Arrowverse, even though it's on the CW, so people are like, well, why isn't this a part of the Arrowverse? I mean, that could change down the road. I mean, it probably will.
Yes.
But I think for right now, the stories feel so much different. Because Arrow and Flash, they're grounded. They have, familial themes that you can relate to and identify with, but Black Lightning feels like it could happen, that it is happening now.
Right now,
it feels very, very, very current. It's happening, whatever's going on in the news right now, you see on Black Lightning. And I love that they address those issues. It would be interesting to see, though, Jefferson meeting up with, Barry or with Oliver or any of those characters. I don't know how they would mesh. Because he's a dad, because he's older, he has a family.
He has so much more experience than anyone else in the kind of Arrowverse, as it's called on TV.
Which I think this makes it so unique.
Exactly.
This is what I'm loving about this season. So for right now, I'm actually happy that it's not a part of the Arrowverse for right now. But
I think
for you,
do
you think it can stay that way? In the end, your final decision, or do you think it has to move to the Arrowverse at some point for it to stay relevant?
I don't think it has to, and I think that's kind of what these first 2 episodes have established, that there is enough kind of storytelling. There's an engine here that can probably be sustained, 5-7 years, however long they want it to go. I think that there are enough, peripheral characters, someone like Grace, people from elsewhere in the DC universe that you can draw in without necessarily needing to involve the wider Arrowverse. But I think it would just be cool for fans. Don't we want to see that? We want to see all these characters crossing over and hooking up. That's the joy of reading comics.
I agree. I think it would be cool, but I'm happy for it to be one season just by itself. It would be nice to have one season by itself, don't rush it, and then bring everybody else in. So that's what we thought of Black Lightning, but we'd love to know what you think as well. And that's not the only thing going on in the television world right now. We also have many other shows to talk about, so be sure to check out my video on why Netflix's Altered Carbon is the next great sci-fi adventure series when it premieres on Netflix on February 2nd, and also Starz' Counterpart, and why I think it's the best new show of 2018. And be sure to like and subscribe to IGN everywhere you like to watch.